and we can get started. So just to introduce myself, because I know most of you, but not everybody, I'm Julia Matheson, travel consultant at Travel Julia's Way, and I love all things Europe. So obviously when AMA Waterways introduced this 7 rivers journey, I had to know more. And so I called up Kathy and I said, Kathy, I need a webinar on this. I need to know the details. I need to know the logistics. Tell me everything, because spending 6 weeks on the rivers of Europe sounds pretty awesome to me personally. And so I am, like I said, I am recording this. And so I am going to put this on YouTube for those to watch afterwards. But obviously we're a small group here. So if you want to unmute and ask a question, I'm sure that's going to be fine. You know, we keep this nice and casual. We were just discussing wine before we started the recording. So cheers to everyone for a lovely midweek day. And Kathy, I'll let you get started. Oh, some Stella. There you go. There's some Belgian.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's make this work. You'd think after a year I could just blink my eyes and have it happen, right? Okay.
I mean, first of all, I love this image that you guys put together for it. It's just like
Isn't it gorgeous.
Fabulousness, all of it.
Yep.
Check.
So,
yes.
leave it to AMA Waterways to do something completely out of the mold, never been done before. You know, started back with our twin balcony ships where we had both the step out balcony and a French balcony next to it, adding 25 bicycles on board, adding wine cruises, adding hiking tours, adding culinary tours. And I mean, every other year we come out with a very unique thing that pretty much breaks the mold in the industry. And then of course it gets copied. Because, you know, no good deed doesn't get copied, because if it's a great idea, somebody else is going to take it and run with it too. But nobody's thought of this. They've been doing these world journeys on the ocean ships of, you know, 100 days or whatever for years. So, I mean, back in November, Rudy in our marketing department was saying, well, how about a world journey on the rivers? It's never been done before. So that's all you have to do is say to Rudy, it's never been done before. There's never been a ship like the AMA Magna, the double wide. So actually, we announced this just 3 or 4 weeks ago. And this is the most of the pictures I have are on the 7 river journey that is scheduled for June 1st, 2023. Okay, which will start in Paris. Actually have 13 days in France, and then roll over and do the Rhine, the Main, the Danube, the Mosel. This had such a great response, you know, including 46 nights and 14 countries covering 7 rivers. So amazing experience, breaking the mold with anything that's ever been done. What are we going to do? We're going to do 7 rivers. Now, this is the summer version. There is now a spring version. So that's how well the summer was selling. Spring looks like it's going to be the same again. And don't be surprised if we come up with a 3rd one. In this case, I know, fall. You got to have fall, right? In this case, most of the pictures I have are on the summer version, and I'll try to point out what might be different on the spring one. Okay, so the 7 rivers in this case, the Seine and the Rhone, both in France. Oh, and the Saône, the Rhine, Mosel, Main, and Danube. So 14 different countries, 46 nights beginning in Paris, ending in Romania, and covering 4 different ships. We also have a couple land packages if you want to do something at the front and or at the back. What's included on an AMA 7 river journey? 1 cruise manager who will be there throughout the entire journey. And
which
now,
is so cool. Can I just interject?
Absolutely, go for it, Julia.
Because so even just on a 7-day cruise, the cruise manager becomes like your buddy. Like, I mean, I still like David from my Rhine cruise with you guys a couple years ago, like great. Sorry, I'm getting a call, voicemail. Just they're super fun and they really make the trip great. And so to have one with you the whole 46 days, like, I mean, they're going to be family practically.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Julia, when I went on my Christmas markets cruise last year, David was on the ship as a guest. And guess what? He remembered our group. Fancy that.
Because they're the greatest people. AMA hires the greatest people. That's so fun, Joan.
They are. And I swear to God, they do not have the word no in their vocabulary. They will make anything happen. They're the most fabulous people in the world. Now, what's happening now is every time somebody reserves their stateroom on this journey, their next question is, who's going to be the cruise manager? Because they're dying to know, because everybody's got a favorite. So maybe we'll have enough 7 rivers to spread them around. So all your gratuities would be included on both land and on shore. The transfers between ships, you'll never touch your luggage. It's going to be taken care of all the way. We always have our small group excursions, whether it's the regular excursions, the walking tours, the bicycle tours, the hiking tours, the culinary tours. In our case, that's all included. On a normal river cruise with us, we are offering between 4 and 6 excursions included every single port. So you have choices to make. So if somebody's looking at a 7-river itinerary and they happen to have been to one of these ports, know that there will be other options. And there are some ports that are being visited more than once. So we'll have many exclusive experiences that are just for these folks on the 7 rivers. All the fine dining in our multiple dining venues. This has been a hit. Complimentary laundry. Now, hello, if you're gone for 46 days, somebody's got to do your laundry, but that is definitely included. And of course, as we say, also surprises and delights. Personalized guided excursions, like I mentioned, typically we have between 4 and 6 excursions. You can see how small this group is. So you can see, I mean, we're not even going to say the word social distancing in 2023, but you know, we have the space. We always send out the guide. The guide wears the microphone. You've got a chip in your ear. You could wander a block away and not miss anything. You've got plenty of small group excursions. We have gentle walkers. We have regular walkers. We have active walkers. Sometimes we have late risers, which is really, really cool.
I've taken advantage of that. It was great. Sometimes you drink a little too much at dinner to be up for the 9 a.m. So you go on the 10:30. It's great.
And there's always a map at the front desk of the port, and you can chat with the cruise manager or the hotel manager or the front desk, and they'll tell you exactly where we're going to be, when we're going to be there. And you can go off on your own. You can take those bikes out on your own if you'd like to, but we do have escorted bicycle tours. You'll also see back here, this lady is carrying one of those alpine walking sticks, and we do have those on the ship as well if you need a little help and security on these crazy cobblestones. AMA Waterways, as of 3 years ago, started putting a wellness host on board every one of our ships. So they might do nutrition lectures. They might do a morning stretching class before breakfast. They might do a yoga class up on the top deck. But that wellness host is not a person that's assigned wellness programs on top of everything else. That is their sole role. And we are the only ship to have that sort of service on board. Dining is always exquisite because we are the only river cruise line to be part of Le Chandelier. Do we need to mute, Julia?
Sorry.
Do we need to mute?
I thought I was muted. Sorry. I'm trying to do an Instagram story of you talking.
Okay. Oh, well, if you're not talking, if you don't have a question, would you hit the little microphone to go on mute? Because there's background noise that you never notice unless you're on this end of it. So anyway, we're the only river cruise line to be part of Chaîne. It means this is what the presentation looks like, and every bit of the food has to be locally sourced. There is no frozen food on an AMA ship. Even the fish comes from a local fishmonger. And downfall of mine, a pastry chef on board every ship. The breads and the pastries are amazing. We also have 2 dining venues on each one of our ships. We have a main dining room, which is unique in the industry. I just talked with someone that had sailed with another not to be named river cruise line. And when I said in our dining room, we have tables for 2, for 4, 5 top tables for solo travelers, and 6 and 8, she went, really? Because she's accustomed to a company that only has 6 top tables, which is fine for dinner most of the time, but I'm not up for 6 for breakfast most days, just thinking. So we have a chef's table restaurant where there is a private chef in a demonstration kitchen, like you see here, where that chef is preparing and plating a 7-course paired wine dinner. And there is no charge for dining at the chef's table. It is just one of those very select dining experiences.
So Kathy, I have a quick question on the chef's table. Currently on a river cruise, they have the chef's table and they have the same menu during the cruise, and you might be able to go twice. So for this particular itinerary, are they going to have different menus, like one every week?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're on a particular ship more than 1 week, then that menu would vary. Yeah.
Right, because how many ships again? So it's 7 rivers.
This
but
is 4 ships.
4 ships. Okay.
Okay. The spring trip is only 3 ships.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Easier logistics for you guys.
pardon?
Easier logistics for transferring luggage the 3 times.
Plus the last ship for the 14 days is the Magna. And
that's
the
exciting.
Magna,
And yeah, tell everybody what the Magna is, just in case they don't know.
the AMA Magna is, I'm from the South, so I can say it. It's actually a double wide ship. Instead of being 38 feet wide, the Magna is 72 feet wide, but it actually carries the same number of passengers as one of those Viking longships. Okay, so it's double the size, double the public space. Cabin size averages 355 square feet, and she has 4 restaurants and 5 wine bars. So she is unique, huge wellness center, spinning bikes on the back deck facing the river in case you're want to do a spinning class. You know, absolutely fantastic.
And
So,
she picks up like somewhere after the canal, right?
Actually, it's really easy to show you right here. Now, this is the Main-Danube Canal. This is what connects the Rhine River, which is up here, with the Danube River, which is down here. In the canal and all the way up through these rivers, ships can only be 38 feet wide. And when you're next to that lock wall, you have 11 inches of clearance on each side. The captains are pretty awesome. But at the bottom of the canal here, which is our favorite little port called Wilshofen, Rudy realized that from there all the way down to the Black Sea, the locks here are designed to not carry a single ship, but 2 ships side by side. So that's when he realized he could build a double wide. So the AMA Magna can only sail the Danube, the area we call the Upper Danube, which would be like from Wilshofen down to Budapest, and then from Budapest down to the Black Sea in Romania. So I do have another map of the itinerary.
Oh, there we go.
This is the summer itinerary. All right. The summer itinerary will start on the Seine River. So Paris out to Normandy, Le Havre, and that area. And then we'll transfer by high-speed train to board a ship on the Rhone and the Saône, and then transfer from there over to Basel, Switzerland, to do the Rhine, the Main, and the Danube. Okay.
Is that going to be another train from like Arles up to Amsterdam, or a flight, or
That is a train, I believe. Yes.
it's a train?
Yes.
Okay.
So several TGV trains, which are really, really cool. If you've
It's
ever
part of the European experience. I mean, you kind of have to do it. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So on the summer version, you actually have French immersion with 13 days.
and you wonder why I love this itinerary. I'm a France person, if you don't know me.
Yep. Pretty cool. You get out to Normandy, to the beaches. Of course, we have two itineraries that go out there. One is for the Americans, where we go to the Omaha and Utah beaches, and the British go to Sword and Juno beaches because that's where they came ashore. And we do the cemetery and everything. Just absolutely life-changing experience to tour Normandy. And of course, the site where Vincent van Gogh did his most prolific painting in the days right before his death. I believe he did a painting every single day, but you get to visit this area here. And then we're going to go down to Lyon. And in this case, you would sail from Lyon and go through, this is actually both Burgundy and Provence, okay? Provence is simply the Rhone River. Burgundy is the Saône River. So the top part of the river is the Saône, that's the Burgundy area. Fabulous wines, of course, but very different countryside, rolling hills and lots of butter and cheeses. You get down to Provence, and then you've got the lavender and the sunflower fields and Vincent's area there, and more in tune with olive oils and Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Côte de Rhône wines. So you're going to get to experience both of those, and there's plenty of wine tasting. Wien is a wonderful area, historically centered around Roman ruins. Absolutely incredible experience to experience the Roman ruins. Tournon, look at the vineyard, people. I mean, this is the kind of vineyards you see all the way along the rivers here. And then
that's iconic river cruising scenery right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, spring voyage. Okay, spring voyage is going to skip the Seine, and we'll just do the Saône and the Rhone. Okay, so it's like 7 days less in France.
Do you still start in Paris though? Like, is there like a
no
pre-9?
That ship actually starts in Avignon.
Oh, okay.
And goes the other way. So it ends in Lyon, and then your transfer is from Lyon to Basel, Switzerland.
Kathy,
Okay.
what is the picture, the bridge in the middle that has that beautiful
That is a city called Bamberg.
beautiful.
Wonderful. Yes, it's just classic. You go into this, you go from the outside through this building over to the other side. They've got the weirdest thing that they're famous for. In Bamberg, they're famous for smoky beer. Evidently, the beer has a smoked taste to it. Now, I'm not beer, so it doesn't even interest me at all. But yeah, they're famous for smoked beer. So the difference with the spring voyage is, instead of that focus on France, you're going to do the Rhine, the Main, and the beautiful Moselle. But you're also going to do the two rivers in Holland and Belgium. So, and that's spring. So that sailing is going to be during Keukenhof, which is the fabulous gardens with the 7 million tulips in bloom. And even when you're in Amsterdam, going to the flower auction, which is absolutely infamous to experience that. Just millions and millions and millions of flowers sold every single day in that auction.
That's amazing. So real quick, since we're talking about Amsterdam, So the first one does the Seine and the Rhone and the Saône, and then it goes to the Rhine. But does it go all the way up to Amsterdam, or does it curl over?
Absolutely. It will
Oh, it
include
does. Okay. So Amsterdam's in both. Okay, got it.
Amsterdam's in both, and actually you'll do more than one visit to Amsterdam. But
Okay.
every time you're in Amsterdam, you'll have different things. Like
Well,
the
it's
first-
got so much that one day is not enough. So
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. For instance, the first day we're in a city, we're going to focus on art and architecture and get the history of the Roman ruins. The next time you go to that city, it's going to be all focused on food and wine and culinary.
perfect.
You know, what's not to like here? So, you know, if you could count how many times I've been to Prague and Budapest, I mean, I'd run out of hands. I never tire of those cities. So
No.
the substitute would be the Dutch waterways. There's two rivers called the Scheldt and the oh, I forgot the other
Brain
one.
fart. It's okay. Dutch waterways.
Anyway,
Was it
they're
the
going to go
the
to,
Albert Canal?
pardon?
The Albert Canal, maybe?
Nope, Ross, Haas, I can't remember. Darn it. So anyway, that's going to take you to Antwerp, Belgian beer, chocolates, waffles, and French fries like you've never had before in your life. Absolutely. We're going to go to Ghent. That one, go to Bruges to see that Michelangelo Pietà that is the only Michelangelo sculpture outside of Italy. So really nice concentration there in the Belgium and Dutch waterways, which would be the substitute for the extra week in France. Might not be to Julia's taste because she's a
Hey,
Francophile.
that all sounds good. It's fine. It's fine.
There's no such thing as a bad river cruise. So
There's not.
what are we going to do along the Rhine, the Main,
Oh,
the Danube? Well, we're going to get to
that sounds
Strasbourg in France with that wonderful La Petite city where the half-timbered houses. And at Christmas time, they decorate the town with teddy bears. It's just so adorable. So wonderful French food here. Then an exclusive with AMA Waterways, we're going to visit Laneck Castle. Depending on what time of day you're here, you will have this tour by torchlight and by candlelight. And it gets dark early over there, which is a good thing. I did this tour, and the entire castle, which is still owned and resided in by the family, that is how many generations to live in Laneck Castle. But they had torches on the pathway up there, and they have candles set all the way outside and inside the rooms. It is very, very special. Again, like I say, it's an AMA exclusive. The Rhine Gorge is infamous, famous, wonderful experience. You're going to sail it for about 4 hours, pass 44 castles along the riverbanks. You're not going to transit the Rhine Gorge just once. You're going to transit it several times. So number one, if you were saying, I sat on the wrong side of the ship, I should have been on that side. Well, you get on that side for the second time you go through the Rhine Gorge. And maybe we'll do it different times of day too. So we'll see the sunlight coming up on the vineyards and the castles, or we'll see the bright sunshine, or maybe the sunset as you go along there. So each experience will be a little different, even though you're going back. I don't know about you, but when I go back to a city or a town or a destination, I like it better than the first time because I know where I want to go, what I want to see, what stores I want to shop in, what restaurants I want to drink wine in, all there. Cologne, you're going to have several trips to Cologne, probably the most famous, wonderful Gothic cathedral in the world, these twin spires. Just an incredible example of Gothic architecture and great World War II history too. So first time in Amsterdam, maybe you do the canal cruise. Next time in Amsterdam, how about we'll tour the Jordan district or do the Jewish heritage tour or have pea soup in one of those little cafes and all the things that, of course, Amsterdam is known for. Again, one of those cities you can go back to over and over again. This is such a classic thing. Oh, the second time you're in Amsterdam, we're going to give you the option of going to the Rhine Museum, which is where all the old masters are. You'd have time to go to the Van Gogh Museum. So what you missed the first time, you could do the second time. Well, we're back to Cologne again. Yeah, I told you to go more than once. That is not Kolsch beer, so I don't know why that picture is there, but the Kolsch beer comes in little glasses. They're small and they're only about this tall. And we go to one of the local restaurants, sit with the locals. And here's what happens in a Kolsch beer restaurant. That little glass is going to be in front of you, and they're going to keep coming by, and they're going to fill it, and they're going to refill it, and they're going to refill it. And until you put your coaster on top of your glasses, they will keep pouring. So at the end, they're simply going to see how many glasses you had. But we love to do that because, again, we're all over at the experience with the locals. We don't want to be just tourists on the outside. Another time you're going to go to Schloss Johannesburg. Absolutely wonderful. Look at the vineyards back here. You've got a beautiful palace here to tour. So one half of the group would be touring the palace while the other half is in the cellars. And then they would trade off and you absolutely doing the wine tasting. Now, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's a little river called the Moselle. It is without a doubt, everybody will agree, this is the most beautiful river anywhere. It's a very winding, small river. It has the most incredible vineyards all the way along the way, has very small little towns that you really get to experience local traditions. I think it's the prettiest river. I really do. And you even get to Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a really cool city. And this 7-river journey is going to have the first time ever wine tasting in Luxembourg. So we're always looking for new experiences. One of your excursions could be to go out to the site of the Battle of the Bulge and the monument there. If you're into World War II history, you're going everywhere that's huge on World War II. That Cologne Cathedral is actually next to the main rail bridge that crosses the Rhine River. Well, when the Allies were trying to come in from Normandy, they had to take out that rail bridge and that train station. So here you got the cathedral, here you got the bridge, and they weren't supposed to hit the cathedral. So wonderful World War II history that you can learn about, see pictures, and it's a way to experience the destination. Bern Castle is on the Rhine River again. Vineyards. We have a hike. We always offer hiking tours. Here's the path that goes up the hike to this castle. And of course, we have wonderful bike tours along here as well. Oftentimes going from one port to the next one and waving at the ship as we pass by. Because
I've done that hike. That's not a bad hike. These aren't like hikes that you're going to like normal fitness can do these hikes because it's beautiful.
We always, with the biking and the hiking, we will tell you the difficulty and the length of it. The reason we send out 2 guides is because somebody changes their mind, the guide at the back can take them back to the ship. So that's always available. Now, I know Walt Disney used so many castles over there for examples. I know he used Ludwig's castle in Bavaria for Cinderella's castle. I want to know why he never used this castle. I think this is the most stunning castle I've ever seen. Still resided in by the same families. I don't know how many generations, but
I want to go. I've never seen this one. I want to see it.
Yep, it's on my list too. Yep. Koblenz, you actually visit Koblenz a couple of times. You do different areas in Koblenz. It's a confluence with 3 rivers here. When we go to Mainz, the second time we're going to Mainz, first time you're going to do architecture, Roman history, that sort of thing. Second time you're going to experience Marc Chagall's art. These are the stained glass windows in this small church in Mainz. absolutely stunning. Of course, the Holocaust story is here. He was a Jewish artist, painting and stained glass art. So this church just glows. I mean, you walk in here and you're overpowered mostly by the color blue. Very, very special. The Main River, that's one of the smaller rivers, comes off the Rhine and the Main here. Würzburg, we're going to have some time in Würzburg. You could go up to that castle. There's a wonderful palace in Würzburg, and everywhere, you know, you're going to see these stone bridges. You know, these were not easy to build to get across these rivers, and that's why they've been there for centuries. Then you're going to get to the Danube. The Danube's total immersion here. And in this case, on the spring, you will be boarding the AMA Magna in Vilshofen and stay on the AMA Magna all the way down to Romania. 14 days, upper Danube and lower Danube. My second favorite city in the entire world is bar none, Budapest. The Houses of Parliament are lighted at night. The bridges are lighted. It's just a very, very special place. And if they have any street food, grab it, because there's some stuff that's really good, like langos. I love those things. I'm not quite sure what they are, but I'll eat them like crazy. And the pastries in the market hall, the great market hall in Budapest is amazing. The entire it takes up a whole block. The entire first floor is nothing but food. Paprika, 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 and all kinds of cute containers. Meat, fish, sausages, chicken feet. You know what color chicken feet are? They're the brightest yellow you've ever seen. So
in Budapest?
Yeah, the Great Market Hall in Budapest. Yes.
Oh, wow.
The next floor up is like a mezzanine, and that's where you're going to find the Hungarian leather, the embroidered shirts and things, and fabulous pashminas for €5.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta have the pashminas. Linz, Austria. Of course, there you're going to have the option of staying in Linz or going to fabulous Salzburg for a half day or a full day. Wonderful experience.
Or Cesky Kromolov, which was my favorite, right? Linz, I always say that you should stay 2 nights in Linz, simply because how do you choose between Salzburg and Cesky Kromolov?
That's why I tell people it's so fun to go back and do the Danube a second time, because the first time, if you've never been, you've got to go to Salzburg.
Yeah.
But the second time, you just got to go to Cesky Kromolov. Cesky Kromolov is this tiny little town just inside the Czech Republic. Now, this tiny little town not only was never bombed in World War II, but it never had a major fire from back in medieval days. So it is very rough cobblestone streets. And I've been there, I think, 4 times. The castle is way up at the top. I haven't made it up there yet. Maybe I'll do it on the 5th time that I go to Cesky Kromolov. But it is.
I think we started at the castle and worked our way down, and then like huffed and puffed back to the wherever.
Get up there.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got to hike up there.
We did it.
There's no.
I don't remember it being particularly terrible, but we did it because I have pictures over the valley. It's beautiful. So.
Oh, it's incredible. And I think the most beautiful stretch of river anywhere besides the Moselle is the Wachow Valley. The Wachow Valley is where that little town of Dürnstein is. This is where we find the Gruner Veltlinger, as well as the Riesling wines. Apricots. There's even little jars. I mean, you get apricot schnapps, apricot wine, apricot sauce, apricot jam. And then there was a little bottle, and it was actually labeled rabbit shit. It was apricot seeds in chocolate. And I'm going, does it really say this? Anyway, great stories. Okay, Vienna. Great time to visit Vienna a couple times. Classic architecture, you'll see anywhere. People can, I mean, Julia's going to say Paris, Paris, Paris. I'm going to say Vienna, Vienna, Vienna. I would rather spend time in Vienna, the classical architecture, the carriage rides. And oh, by the way, if you're there at Christmas time, these carriage horses would be wearing little neoprene ear covers, which is one of the most special things you've ever seen. You'll walk by the entrance to the Spanish riding school. You might see them parade right in front of you. You could go to a rehearsal of the in the Winter Palace. Just a beautiful city.
Now,
And-
wait, before you zip by Vienna, which is a fantastic city, are on either itinerary, are you spending like 2 nights there, or is it always 1 night?
Yeah.
Yes, you do?
Yes.
Yes, because there's so much to see. There's way too much to see in Vienna to just stop.
Yeah,
1 night.
yeah, and
Good.
the tour of Schönbrunn, of course,
You got to go to Schönbrunn Palace. It's like Versailles, but German. It's
and the
perfect.
concert. The
Oh, and a concert.
concert in a
I
palace.
have not gotten a concert yet.
And I should have, we're going to go back to Budapest. No, I don't think so.
It
Budapest,
might be after Bratislava. It might be after Bratislava.
let me see. Yes, back to Budapest. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Beautiful scenery here, wonderful history. Where was I going with that?
Are you staying 2 nights in Budapest? Because also another great city.
Yes. Oh, that's it. The second time you go to Budapest, you're going to have to choose between the Jewish Heritage Tour, which is going to the synagogue that has the Tree of Life monument with
Supposed to be
the,
spectacular.
and the shoes on the Danube. Absolutely. Or you can take the musical tour, which will go to the Opera House. And we will go on stage in the Opera House and behind the scenes in the Opera House. And then we will make a tour of the Linz home where Franz Linz was. So very, very musical focused.
See, this is the problem, is that I'm telling you guys, people don't believe me when I say this, but there are days on an AMA River cruise where it's like Sophie's choice and having to decide which, which activity to do that day.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Aaron's hilarious. Aaron has lived in Salzburg and he's been all over, but he says he does not want to sing if he visits the opera, which I think can be arranged, Aaron.
We're going to be adding, I think it's in 23, land extensions in Salzburg and in Krakow, Poland.
Ooh,
How cool
excellent.
is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the musical tour, you can take a land option to Krakow. There's the synagogue there with the Tree of Life. You can't quite see it from here, but one of those wonderful Moroccan architectures, fabulous building. It's amazing. It survived the war. A new fortress that has only been open to the public. This is now we're on the lower Danube. Okay.
And this is new. This will be all new territory for me. This is an area I still am dying to experience.
Well, I'm doing this one in August.
Oh, good for you.
August 22nd. So you don't think we're going to be sailing? I'm saying we're going to be sailing. August 22nd. I've got a countdown. But this is a fortress that has just been open to the public. So we will spend time at the Kolubak Fortress, which looks stunning, doesn't it? Maybe
Kathy,
they'll
is that still in
yeah.
Hungary?
Yeah, and this is the entrance to the Iron Gates. The Iron Gates is this, you're going to have a lot more sailing time on this itinerary in the lower Danube. I call it a road less traveled because there'll be fewer ships, fewer passengers. The ports are going to be very, very different because many of these cities and towns like stepping back into the 1990s because they have not recovered from that gray communist era the way Hungary and the Czech Republic have. But look at this stunning carving up on this rock above the river, and look how tiny the ships look. Yeah.
So yeah, we've left Hungary at this point and we're in Romania. Is that right?
Oh, we're in these 5 countries down here.
Okay.
You know, you're going to Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania. And must be Hungary. I don't know. I have to check a map. There's 5 countries that go from Budapest down to the lower Danube. Fabulous fortress here, actually in a natural rock formation that they turned into a fortress. And there's another one of your hikes if you'd like to take that. But Belogradchuk. I'm going to learn how to pronounce these in August. And then Bucharest, known as the Paris of the East, and disembarking in Giurgiu, Romania, Then you've even got extensions that if you want to add to the 46-day trip, you've got 4 days in Romania going to Bram's castle and Dracula's birthplace, or you can hop over and spend a few nights in Istanbul and do another country and another continent. So we do have an early booking discount of 5% because this is for 2023. We also have a past guest offer depending on what it is. You've got your loyalty upgrades, and a future cruise discount does apply. So terms and conditions. You want to rate? I'll give you a rate. This is for the summer version. So it would be starting from, let me get rid of my picture here. When you add the port charges, starting from $27,379 in a fixed window. That is all 46 days, cruise manager. There are no optional excursions. Everything is included. Then you've got French balcony, and then you've got suites. That's the ships that are going to do the summer version, June 1 through July 17th. Spring, that is going to be April 20th through June 4th. So it's tulip time, it's flower time everywhere. You're going to do the Rhone, but you're going to do then the Rhine, the Mosel, the Main, the Danube, Scheldt, and Maas. That's it. That's the one I couldn't remember. The Maas River. These are the Dutch waterways. So you're going through Belgium and Holland, which you do not do on the other. So you've got France, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium. You've also got Luxembourg, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria.
Amazing. Oh my.
Begin in Avignon and end in Romania. Only 3 ships. Over in France, the AMA Christina, named for one of our owners, Christine, the AMA Certo, and then the knock your socks off AMA Magna for 14 days. Optional land, 2 nights in Paris at the front end. At the back end, you got the 4 nights in Transylvania, or 3 nights in Istanbul. Rates for the spring journey, going to be different here because of the AMA Magna. The AMA Magna is higher priced than a regular ship. So $26,349 for your fixed window and go up from there.
You know what? I just did some quick math. If you want to go back to that for a second, that's like under $600 a day, which, yep. I mean, if you think about when you travel normally, I mean, I always say my average travel spend for a client is $500 a day. So $600 a day, that's including all your food and drink, all your excursions, all the tips. Like, that's really an amazing deal. If you've got 45 days that you can be away from home, like, it's a great deal.
And your laundry, don't forget the laundry.
Oh, right, and your laundry. Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I had anything else here. Of course, we are the heart of the rivers. That's it. No, end share. Where am I? Go away.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Well, I was just looking at the comments. Katie had to leave, but she said it was fantastic. Yes, Erin, I believe those are per person pricing. Yes, not per cabin.
So Kathy, during the 46 days or whatever, you're always on a ship, right? There's no nights in a hotel. Okay.
Correct.
And then Tessa,
on the summer one, what are the 4 ships on the summer? I know the Magna.
No, Magna's spring.
Oh, the Magna's not on the summer.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No. Lyra.
Probably the cello and the Burgundy.
Cello. Yes. So I can probably get back there. I don't know.
So Tessa had asked earlier on, I don't know if you have stats for who all has already booked onto summer yet, but are you, she was asking about the demographics of the folks that are joining in. I would assume they're going to be a little older because these are the people that can, leave
Yes.
the house for 46 days.
Well, I don't know. You know,
Okay.
so many people at this point never had any vacation last year. So everyone is looking for longer sailings. That's why we introduced the option of back-to-back sailings. So you could pick 2 sailings. We've got like 1,700 options of what you can put back to back. And it's anything successive after the first one is 10% off. So on the summer sailing, it's the Lyra on the Seine, the Christina on the Rhone and the Saône, then the Prima, and then the Verde. And the Verde is being completely rebuilt right now because we took it back from Australian Pacific Tours. So Rudy is putting all his new ideas into the 2 ships, the AMA Verde and the AMA Bella.
Kathy, this is just being sold as a block, right? Can people opt in to 14 of the days, or is it all or nothing?
It is all or nothing.
Okay.
There was some talk today about perhaps that spring one, since it's such a different ship when you get to the Magna. The Magna's capacity is not 156, it's 192. So we may be able to let friends and family join in on that last 14 days since it's the Magna. But, you know, all of that is in process right now.
And then do you have any kind of information yet about what's left on summer? Like I assume spring hasn't started selling yet, right?
People are putting deposits down because it is fully refundable, but the deposit is $4,800.
Okay.
Okay. And that you can, on the spring journey now, you can actually pick your stateroom once you put that down, and then you decide if that's what you want, then you go into the normal cancellation policy, which, you know, is like 50% and goes from there.
Right.
You could book the spring journey now. I believe the summer one only has 4 fixed window cabins left.
Oh, goodness. So it really is almost sold out.
Yeah, it really is almost sold out. And the rate going on this spring sailing is so interested. That's why they mentioned today, maybe there'll be a fall 7 river journey.
I mean, I think you're going to need to. Well, great. Does anybody else have any other questions for Kathy? I think Kathy's frozen on her video. Your video is, but we can hear you fine. So
okay, good. Yeah, I mean, isn't it a cool idea?
It's really fantastic. I do have a question about the chef's table. Like if it's just a normal cruise, Kathy, for a week, do you get to go more than once? I know Joan referenced that, but I thought it was only a one-time during a week.
You can go a second time, but it is a fixed window. That's what prompted her question, a fixed menu, fixed window. Yeah, it is a fixed menu, but if you would like to go experience it a second time, you can certainly do that.
I remember how fabulous it was. I would have gladly gone back a second time.
Absolutely.
I guess I wasn't to know. No one else wanted to tell me that.
It's a very special
We went the
experience.
first
It
night
really
and then we
is.
went the last night. My friend had all kinds of like food intolerances and the menu was perfect for her.
Yeah.
great.
And of course, AMA can always accommodate any dietary need with the exception of kosher, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free. We've got all of those covered.
Fantastic.
I've just disappeared. Haven't I?
I know you're having video problems, but it's okay because we're all just chatting now. So
I kind of have a problem with the big boat, the AMA Magna. I believe you said there's only 5 wine bars in that one?
Yeah, it is. Yep, sorry.
Is that's not going to do it for you, Erin?
I mean, how many weeks are we on that one?
2. And of course, all of our ships have that pool or jacuzzi on the top deck. So it's delightful. Can you imagine either the summer or the spring up on that top deck, feet dangling in the pool with your glass of wine in hand, sailing through the Rhine Gorge.
Well, and actually Erin makes a good point, because you are on ships for 40 some odd days, you know, as fabulous as the AMA Waterways food is, and it is very fabulous, it might get a little monotonous every night. Like, are there, I mean, I know like in certain cities like Vienna, you're staying 2 nights, like there's opportunity to get off the ship for occasional.
Absolutely. We're always in a port until midnight or 1 a.m. Sometimes, especially in France, we can actually overnight in the port. We're going to always highlight the regional cuisine as well as the standard American cuisine. I had a guy the other night said, well, you're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs. I said, we got the hamburgers, but I think the hot dog might end up to be a sausage, if that's okay with you.
Miguel
But
thought the
that's-
pizza was like, she raved about the pizza. I couldn't believe she ordered pizza. I'm like, what are you doing ordering pizza? And she raved about the pizza. So
And the potato wedges are to die for.
I mean, that's true. Like, so you are going to, I mean, especially when you're switching ships, but also as you sail to different regions, you're going to have different menus every night.
The menu will
So-
change by the country too,
Right,
like the
right.
regional cuisine. But you
And the
can
wines
certainly
will
spend
change.
time in the ports too. I mean, that's what we do in Cologne. We want to take you where the locals are, not where the tourists are.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I mean, I know I want to go on this thing.
Yeah.
The people that are lucky enough to already be booked on the summer are gonna have a blast.
Yep.
You know, I hope some of us are able to either send people on this or go on it ourselves, because it's just gonna be, it's a genius idea. I know I keep saying it's a once in a lifetime idea, but as popular as it is, I have a feeling AMA might be offering this, you know, on an annual kind of situation, maybe. But let's hope, right?
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a desired thing, so I can't see us not doing it. But to have 3 of them in 1 year would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it would.
Now, who do you think is going to be the first one to copy us?
Ooh. Nobody has the service that you do.
I would guess Viking.
No, I was
No, I
thinking
don't-
that, but they don't take care of their clients the same way.
Yeah, but they already do some extended, not in multiple rivers, but they do extended things with their land tours. And I would think that they like to keep their same clients to sort of offer something different. But Kathy, is any other American company sailing on the Lower Danube?
What do you-
Uh-oh.
I don't get the question.
I was asking if any other American company is sailing on the Lower Danube
When?
Just
ever.
in general.
Oh, yeah, all the river cruise lines are in the Lower Danube.
Are they? Huh.
Yes, yes. It's called the Lower Danube, and it goes from Budapest down. And of course, it goes both ways too. But I've never done it. I've been with the company 16 years, but I've never done the Lower Danube. So that's why I'm signed up for August to do that. And then, of
Wow.
course, I'm counting on those Christmas markets. I'm going to take the grandkids this year.
That's what, I mean, I was thinking about it. They could do like an extended Christmas market one that's like kind of the 3 weeks before Christmas. That would be amazing.
I wonder if the fall one would stretch into that.
Maybe,
Mm.
I don't know, because you know, as soon as you get to mid-November, you've got some markets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I am not sitting in the marketing meeting with Janet and Rudy, but I'd love to be a fly on the wall, because it just the ideas that come out of this company are just amazing. Rudy still thinks summer for sailing. If you're getting some flack from any clients, please tell them that we are not in any way subject to the CDC. The CDC
Well-
is US.
Well, and also the other thing that you told me before we went live is, you know, AMA Waterways was chartered last summer by a
Right.
German company, and they took, you know, over 1,500 passengers or
100
something.
guests. Mhm.
Yeah, and didn't have any COVID issues.
Yep.
So I know Europe was different than us last summer, but I mean, if they've done it, they followed the protocols and they haven't had any outbreaks in the
Yep.
midst of the pandemic. So
we can do
that's
it
pretty
again.
impressive.
Yep. And we're going to go back on the Rhine probably with those European guests in May. And then we will open. I did hear this week that the country that seems to be the most advanced with the reduction of incidences right now is Portugal.
Mm.
So who knows, maybe we'll go back to Portugal before we go anywhere else. And Rudy has said, if the Germany opens, you know, we could make an itinerary that does just German ports if we need to. We will make it happen.
I love it. Well, I'm very excited to get back myself, and I'm very excited to see how these 7 river journeys go. I don't know if there'll be space on it by the time. I can't plan that far in advance personally, but I would just love to do something like that. It just sounds so fabulous to me.
We
So
can dream, can't we?
yes, we can dream. And that's what we've done for this past hour. So thank you so much, Kathy, for.
But remember, you can back to back anything.
I love that. That's a new fact for me. And so I am, noting it down.
All 3 of those French rivers can be put back to back. You could
I
easily
mean,
go.
I might just have to do that this fall, right? Mary and I were trying to go in June, but I don't think we're going to do that now. So maybe I'll do it.
I'm going. Oh, not this June. I'm going next June. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, okay. Well, thank you so much, Kathy. Erin, I agree. You should work on her to unretire.
I agree.
I'm not sure about that.
Just take a leave of absence, Lynn. Don't have to retire. Just
No,
a
but
leave of absence.
There's still some
Unretire,
summer.
Kelly.
Oh,
Unretire.
unretire. Oh, I see. Oh, I read that backwards.
I did too. I was thinking the opposite.
Yeah, I understand, Lynn.
Oh, Kathy's back. All right. Well, guys, I want to respect everyone's time. And it's been so much fun dreaming of traveling around Europe with you guys. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, obviously let me know. Otherwise, I will see you around.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks so much. It was
Bye.
wonderful.
I got one more quick question.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Do you need a staff photographer that can travel for free?
Great option, wouldn't it be?
Well, look at my background picture. This is the kind of stuff I can get for you.
Hey, you should work that angle, Erin. I think
Yeah,
it's
right.
You know,
Agreed.
it's worked before. Worked before. Well, thanks very much. This was intriguing.
Thank you all so much.
Absolutely.
And great
Have a good
job,
evening.
Kathy. That was a tremendous talk about it. I loved it.
Thank you. If I made you want to go, we're all good.
Absolutely.
I want to go.
Thanks, Julia,
I'd
for
want to
setting
go a
it
little
up.
bit more if the price was for the 2 of us, but we'll have to work on that.
I'm telling you, if you priced it out like individually, it would be the same or higher.
If Lynn unretires, we might be all set.
There you go.
Just 1 year, that's all.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.